this is the interface where basically you would arrive into the system. We're going to jump ahead and go right away to the organizer section. In another session, we cover how to customize those menus here because it's called the organizer. That's how we named it, but it could be called contacts, companies, it could be called anything you want. This is simply, it's just something that's done very quickly into the admin module. So the first part of the organizer is you have a couple of different sections here. So at any time during the system, you can always click on the exclamation mark, interrogation mark here, question mark, and this will give you instructions on what to do, what's what, and what does what in this system. So you can at any time click on that and do that, or you can skip the tutorial altogether. So this is the display of the organizer. So we have companies here, we have contacts, and we have tags. What are those? Basically, companies are entities that can be actually composed of multiple contacts. So you can assign contacts to companies or not, and you can have multiple companies assigned to companies. So there's no limit in the level of companies you can have. Again, there's not a real difference in the terms of functionalities or options for both of those sections. It's just a way to be able to separate your options. So some companies, what they do, some customer of ours, what they do is they set up companies such as, clients, prospects, etc., and they use contact for their employees, or they can use the contacts for the contact that are part of the companies when there's multiple contacts that you deal with, and then they associate it. So I'll go ahead and show you how that's done a little bit later. So in this page, and the last thing here is tags. Tags are basically anything that you want to create to assign a specific description or a tag or a keyword to a company or a contact is done here. So you can create as many tags as you want, and basically those tags can be associated to a company. So when you go in it, you can associate any number of tags. So this is a way to basically easily and rapidly be able to identify, target, select, filter any company or contact. So let's say you want to do a mass mailing to all your customers that have a portfolio with you of more than $1 million, or between 1 million and 5 million, which is maybe your top 10, top 15, top 20 customers. Well, you can create a tag called top 20, assign that tag to that person and all the other ones that are in your database, so that when you want to do a mass mailing or a communication to them, well, you'll be able to, or set up an automated task, well, you'll be able to select that filter and say, I want to select all the contacts that have that tag. And you can also multiply or combine tags. So you can say, I want to have him in that tag, but I also want to sort out only the people that are in the Montreal region, so that you can do a seminar. Let's say you want to set up a seminar and say, I want to do a seminar with all my best customers that are in Montreal that have a net worth of more than 500K, let's say. Well, you'll be able to do that. So in this section, there's also batch email. So that's pretty much simple. It's a possibility to allow to send batch emails to contacts or companies. And it's super simple. You choose your email template that you've pre-established ahead of time, or you can just create a new one right here. And then you select to who you want to send it to. As I said, filter. We can say, okay, we're clients from Montreal. What's the title? And you can insert variables in there. So you can say hi, and then you can put his name here. So where's his name? Nom du responsable, you see. So you can actually set up a system to customize the email. So when the person receives it, well, he has a feeling that he's actually getting an email that was manually composed and sent to him. There's also the export and import feature that allows you to import or export contacts or companies. So right now, out of the box, we've implemented Google importation. So you just log in with your right account, and it allows you to import all your contacts directly from there. And what's fun about that is there's like a mapping thing, and we won't go all the way to the end, but there's a mapping function that allows you to see the data before it's imported and make sure that the mapping is done well for those imports. So same thing for contacts. And if you don't have Google, well, there's the CSV format, which allows you to import any type of database, because most solutions offer an export function to CSV. And we have a more advanced importation for anybody that uses Act. So we've worked very hard in creating a migration tool for Act, so we can actually take notes, tasks, calendars, and all data pertinent to your database and import it directly into iProsper with everything working. So that's something that's pretty neat. We work very hard on that because we know that a lot of customers were using basically Act for their business, mostly in the financial industry. So so that's that for those two features. We're gonna go ahead and go into I'm going to search for something, I'm going to go into a file. So I'm going into one company that has a tag, a lot of data here. So, that's basic contact information. There's different sections that you can set up information and data. So you can really separate the data in your system very easy. And we'll go through that a little bit later. What's interesting here is the notes. So every time you talk to your customer, something happens, you can add a quick note. And it's made to be simple. So you just type your note, press enter, and the note gets added. So I added the note, oh my goodness, the 10th of October at 10:10. So that's a pretty sweet number. So that's an example to do a quick note. I'm going to go ahead and delete it. And you can also add complete notes. So let's say you want to do formatting, or let's say, please never send an email, and you want this to be bold and you want it bigger, so you be sure that everybody always sees this note. So you can do that. You add the note and it's there, so it's there. So there's also comments that you can add. Comments is similar to notes, same concept, just that it's another different type of note or detail that you can input in the system. So it allows you the flexibility to say, okay, notes is everyday discussions and comments are important things that we want there, because as the notes go, this will go lower and lower and lower. So as you see, load more, it goes and goes and goes far. There's a search tool to sort out. So if you type email, enter, basically it only shows you anything that has that word. So that's fun to be able to search through notes. So that's pretty much it. I think it's pretty straightforward. After that, there's the tabs here on the left. So as I said, this is a logo. You can input a logo, and there's a lot of different fields that are customizable, and those are the different sections pertinent to that company. So we have the contacts that are associated to that company. So in this case, that's all the employees of that company. So they're all inputted here. They're assigned to it, so there's a link to them. That's the sub companies. So let's say you have a company that has a head office, and then there's different offices. Well, you can have the head office as the main company, and then set up sub companies. But in order to search them or go through them, they're still independent companies. It's just that there's a link from one to the other. Those are all the tasks that are pertinent or related to that company that were assigned or that were created in the time. So this is the filter. So you can display the canceled, the completed, the in progress, the assigned, or the open task. So let's say I don't want to show the assigned task. I would remove it and it's going to filter it out. And there's also the type of tasks that are created. So there's calls, meetings, tasks, to-dos, others. So when you click on the task, it gives you the progress, who is it from, what's the employee or the assigned user to that task, and the description, and also the date, the duration, and all those. Basically, the tasks are going to be covered into the into the third session. So you could hop on that session if you want to go through those advanced. We go through a lot with the task because it's something that's pretty important. There's a task, an automated task, but at the end of the day, all the task history gets set in the folder of the customer if it is assigned to a customer. Here's the next very important section. It's the file section. So the file section allows you to upload any type of document that you want. So let's say I would want to upload a picture into the system. Well, I could actually take this, I choose, I added the picture. When you click on it and you view, well, it allows you to view the picture straight from the system, or you can download it. So you can upload everything here, your contracts, your documents, scanned documents, documents that you use to work on the file from your customer. And at the end of the day, the goal is to be paperless with this system. So if you have some stuff that you already have and they're not input in the system, well, that's a good way to start. You put them here so you have access to them from anywhere you have access to iProsper, which is, you know, your telephone, smartphone, computer, home, office, cottage, no limits. You can search through documents here, and there's when you upload it, it puts the name of the file and also the size of it. Contract section. So sometimes some financial advisors or others, they charge consulting fee for specific work, or they charge, you know, labor or whatever. So this allows you to create some contracts, and all the contracts, basically invoices or other, are generated through this section at the bottom here. But the history of all the contracts or invoices that were assigned to this company will be stored here. The mail history is everything that was ever sent to this company, so is all displayed here. So that's something that's pretty interesting, because sometimes it's not you necessarily that sent an email to the customer, it's one of your employees and team. So even though you don't have access to the email box, you'll still be able to see all the mail history that was communicated to that customer. So when you show more, it shows you the whole basically email here. So that's a pretty neat feature. And mostly when you do mass mailings, every time you send out a mass mailing to, let's say, 50 people, well, it'll also put a copy in this folder. The last section is the form responses. So form responses are basically, in a nutshell, any single form that you have in your system that you want customers, partners, suppliers, and whoever fill out, so that data does not get inputted manually by you guys. Instead, you give them a link, they have a form, they fill it out, send it out, all the data gets directly stored into this system here. So let's say this is an interview process. Well, that's the form for an interview process for an employee. So that's just an example. So, and it's an example that you can put pictures, you can pretty much do what you want, but at the end of the day, those are questionnaires that can be re-edited at any time. And those questionnaires or forms are created super efficiently with a drag and drop feature. You can easily modify them, preview them, consult them, and you can have as many as you want. And those are all created here. So you see there's many different, and it's the same thing basically for the forms. Basically, you have two different options, either a form to fill out, or there's also surveys. So you can have a survey and you'll be able to get percentage of everything. But again, this is covered into another webinar. So that pretty much settles the information and different tabs that we have in this system. On top here, we have a couple of tools that we'll go through. So there's the edit tool to be able to edit the data that you have in your thing. So what's fun about the system is you're never changing pages when you're doing stuff. So it speeds up the work and process dramatically. There's the history. So that's the history of everything that happened in the file since day one. So every time you modify an information or whatnot, well, you can go back to that date. You can see who did it, at what time, and what was changed. So that's something that's pretty interesting when you want to go through it and understand who did what in your system. So so that's it. Merge, that's to allow to merge two contacts together. Sometimes you have duplication, so we built in a feature to be able to merge two contacts together. And then it's going to ask you if you want to overwrite or fill the gap from what was in one and not in the other one. Duplicate, same thing. If you want to duplicate a contact or a company, you would do it here. And last but not least, documents, print documents. So print documents basically allow you to basically send out documentations to, or no, sorry, I'll go again. Documents allow you to print documents with any information pertinent to your company or contact. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you have a contract that you get signed, or a form, or a profile. You want to send out a profile of your customer to your customer, basically to know if all the information is accurate. You would choose the document that you have already created in the document section. We do OK. So what it does is it fills out the blank with the information address, name, company name, and everything in the contract, it gets filled out with whatever is needed. So that's something that's pretty interesting because it saves out a lot of work. It brings compliance because you have documents that are basically proofread, saved, and they will never be modified because it's only data from the file that gets changed. So so that's it. So you can have as many documents as you want, and we also have some pre-established documents that are presets that we call. So let's say it's name tags or envelopes. So you can go ahead and say I want to print name tags for all my customers, or you can have name tags printed for only specific filtered for the clients in Montreal because you want to do a seminar and you want to only print the name tags for the people that are going to attend that seminar. So that's what name tags are for. And otherwise you have the envelopes to be able to print out, mass mailings and send out send out emails send out envelopes to your customers. So that allows you to do this. Those presets can be, we can actually do modifications and add new custom presets at any time for any customer that has a request, and you just send out a request, we evaluate it, and we confirm to you what's the time that it takes to do it, and that's it. So we're going to go back to this. So if we go into the contact sheet, there's 2-3 things that are different. So now we were basically before in the company, now we're in the contacts. In the contact, what changes here is we have the relations tab. What this does is you can actually have any type of relation added. So let's say you have a spouse. Well, you can, find the spouse, write it, add it. So now we have a relationship between this customer, and it's a spouse. So you can also have a partner, uncle, mother, friend, father, whatever. They're all there, are pretty much all there. And you can have multiple also. You can say sibling, and then you can put a lot of different people. You can put as many as you want. So that allows you to basically link people into your system together. Otherwise, all the other sections are the same as the other ones. So emails, forms, contacts, mail history, etc., etc. So that's it. So if you go into the tag section, it's very simple. As I explained before, tags are made to be associated to companies, contacts, and we also have a big module that's going to be coming up in the next couple of months. It's going to be the pipelining system that allows you to track, control, and measure anything that comes into your business. So whether it's coming through webinars, coming through seminars that you do, through the internet, through mass mailings, you'll be able to track all the prospects and the contacts that come in from A to Z. And what's also really interesting is that we will be working with tags. So this will be super fun because you'll be able to set up, let's say we set up a tag called Seminar October 2019, top 20 customers. So we set up that tag, and then the seminar, you invite people, you tag that tag because you can add as many tags as you want to a company or a contact. So you associate that tag to that person, and what will happen is that you'll be able to track and follow everything that happened with the seminar with the tags that you've created. So you can say, okay, I want to know what's the bottom line of the seminar, what kind of results I got. Did I get a 50% success rate? What's the conversion rate I got? You can even associate money to that. So you can say, okay, if I predict that each customer will bring in, let's say, I don't know, $1,000 a year of revenue, and you have 200, so on a potential of 200,000, what's the success rate? How much did you close after 30, 60, 90 days? So those tags will be used also for that. So it's important to use tags. You can add as many as you want, and it's a really, really good way to pin out, sort out, and select and filter your companies and contacts to do whatever you want, whether it's automated tasks, as I said before, or send out emails, communication, notes, and also. So to add a tag, very simple. Test tag, enter, it's done. Not more complicated than that. To modify it, you re-click on it, and you go back here and you can modify it. So that's it. So it's pretty simple. So you see we have a top 20 tag here. If we want, we can go into Sirix, go here, go into this thing, we type top 20, enter, so the tag is associated. So basically, if I would create a filter and I would want to say display me all the top 20 contacts, well, this one would show up now on the list because I've added there. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that. And so the tags, you know, you can sort them by name, and that's pretty much it. There's nothing more to that, because basically we're only creating a tag, and that's it. Now, I'm going to show you a little bit about batch emails, because it's an important feature, because it allows you to communicate to contacts, companies, and all that very efficiently without having to send out emails one by one. So what happens is, since that feature is there, you'll be communicating more with your customers, because it's a lot more it's a lot simpler, and you'll be creating automated tasks to, let's say, send out an email 30 days after a new customer gets added to your database to say, you know, thank you for your trust. Hope everything in your experience is good. This and that. And you can also basically set up some automated tasks to say, oh, after the 1 year renewal, send out an email 1 week before the renewal date to verify if everything's okay. To renew you can include links to forms that are created from here, so that they can automatically fill out and send it. And you can set up some batch emails to send out, for example, an invitation, anything. Basically, your imagination is the limit to that. So in order to send out a batch email, you would choose the template. So let's say we do a holiday notification. You're out on holiday. We've put in the specific tags, and then your signature. And what's fun is you can say, I want to send that out to tag any one of the filter that you've created. A filter is basically it's a word that you add, and you say this one includes those and those and those keywords, or this filter includes everybody that has a city that's called Laval. So we'll be covering that in another webinar. But you can go by tag or by filter. So that's pretty much it. So those are all the tags that we have. So we could say, okay, I want to send that out to the top 20, or you can create a new tag or a filter that includes all the customers. So you would be sending out to all the customers. So title, this and that, and then you preview, and it shows you how the email will be sent out. What do we put here? Nom du responsable. Oh yeah, because that's it. It's gonna basically show you the name of the responsible for that. All right, sorry. So the last thing I wanted to show you, I won't go deep inside of that, because it's covered into another webinar session. But I just want to show you that these fields here that you see, all this, are not default fields. The only default fields we have are like company name, address, city, postal code, stuff like that. But when you go into your forms here, and I'm gonna do it very fast because we're gonna cover this. This is the interface that you allow to customize your form. So how simple it is? Extremely simple. You want to add a rich text field here that you call, I don't know. You can write client permanent notes. So you would save that, go back into your file. And then at that point, we have that new field that's there. So, and if I edit it, I have that new field. So if I save information in it, the information gets done. And at that point on, this field is available for any customer that you have in your system. So this is how simple our system is to be able to customize your field. So the options that we have for fields are large text box, rich text box like this. We have drop downs, normal text box, email boxes, website boxes, and we also have some dates, any date field, so that you can birthday or anniversary date or stuff like that. And we also have radio buttons, so you can choose radio button. So and we have another one that's called a custom field, and it's very advanced, but it gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of assigning data to a specific profile. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to show you rapidly the dashboard. This is the dashboard is where you arrive in your system. The search box is pretty important because it allows you to find, you can type Montreal, let's say, and it will give you the companies that are in Montreal, or you can go ahead with the name. these are customized in the advanced customization section. You can specify which fields are going to be used for search. So you can decide, I want to be able to search only with the name, company name, and phone number and city, let's say. Or you can say, I want to search with all the fields. But as you understand, the more fields you have, the more results you'll get. So any business owner can decide which field he wants to be able to search through. So in the dashboard, we have the number of companies in our system, contacts, contracts, documents, and we also have the activity stream. So every day you go into your system, you can see everything that was done by your employees. So as you can see here, there's this company was contacted, and they put employee. Anyway, they put a note for the customer, and it's easy for you to know. You just put your mouse over it, and it shows you who's the company, and then you click on it, and it goes directly to the company. And then the note was on the right there. It also shows you the tasks, whether through a list or a calendar. And we have we're going to have more widgets coming soon that will allow you to reorganize this dashboard and display either your pipeline or other stuff like that. But bottom line right now, this is what's going on. You can see, and if you saw an appointment, you can click on it, then you see the details. It goes into the set task section. But bottom line, the dashboard, that's where you just see general information about your list. So let's say you do call lists. Your secretary does some calls. Well, you'll be able to see which calls were done and what notes were put. So that's it. So that's pretty much basically what's up with the organizer module. We're going to be covering in the next session. I'm going to show you rapidly in 3-4 minutes the different sections that we will be covering in the next session. So in a nutshell, we have a lot more sections here. We have the tasks that allow you to create tasks and automated tasks. And the automated tasks are super cool because you can specify automated tasks depending on triggers of events that happen in your contacts or your company's profiles, specific date interval. We have also the document section that will show you how to create new documents with variables that come from your system, so you can actually create really interesting documents with it's type similar to mail merge, what we're used to in the Word environment, Microsoft Word. There's block of hours that you can manage time banks. Let's say you charge, as I said, hourly rates to customers. You can manage your time banks here with the details of what was done into the time bank. That's the different services that you offer to your customers. The contracts, as I mentioned, to set up some invoicing if that's necessary. The form response, and to add a custom form, it's the same drag and drop system that we've seen earlier. So that's how simple a form is to be built. I mean, you drag and drop form information, you save it, and then you're able to use that form and send that out to your customers. Also, there's the administration customization modules that are covered into the third session, and that allows you to customize all your system. You know, the appearance, the name of the left column, your emails, who the emails are coming from on a per user basis, all your email templates, your billing information, the search, as I mentioned before, what field is used to search. So we have the display here of all fields that you've created, and you decide which one you want to use to search. We're also going to have the user management, invitations, access management to give the rights to different groups of users that you have in your system. Automated tasks that's how you view all the automated tasks that are created. So congratulations on a wedding email. So when the field was written that he got married, well, it sends out an automatic email. You don't have to worry about thinking of doing it. It gets created once, and then you forget about it, and then you can just view the details of what's being sent on a daily or whatever basis. The customized fields, which is an advanced things. The filters, like I said, that allows you to create filters. When you create your filter, we have like Boolean statements that allow you to say, okay, I want, if the name, if this is this or is not this, show me whatever is included. So that's how the filters work. And we'll also manage the profile and managing your link to the Google, Facebook account, the language, and stuff like that. So that feature, add company. So either in companies or contacts, you simply go add company, and that's where you would add it. You can add this here, you do okay, and it adds it automatically there. Or the other option is to do it an import, as a mass import with a CSV file or a Google. Yeah, that's it. So that's how it's done. We can help you and support you for that part for the CSV. It's pretty simple. It's just sometimes the different systems that are used different encoding. So it's just important to choose the right coding of your system. Usually it's UTF-8 when you have French accents into your system. Otherwise, normally it could be Windows 1251, or you can just choose detect encode automatically, and most of the time it's going to work out. Let's say we have this customer. Okay, you know what we'll do is something different. We're going to create a new tag. Test October 2019. Okay, so we just added this tag here, test October 2019. I'm going to add this to tag test October 19. I'm going to go ahead and add this tag to another, just to show you how fast tests. Okay, so I've added it to 2 customers, right? I'm going to go ahead and filters. Oh, not even. I'm going to go ahead and here, batch email. I'm going to choose holiday, the template I chose. The tag I want to use is test October 2019. And then I'm going to do preview. Okay, that's what I want to do. And I'm going to go ahead and send that out. So email sent successfully. So if you go into that file here, you go into the emails, you see that I just sent out an email to this contact. I use 2 contacts that are my emails. That's why, so it's not a problem. Same thing here. We go into the emails. We see this is done. And then I'm going to go ahead and show you. Yeah, sometimes it's going to take maybe a minute to get the email. So bottom line, that's it. I got the email in my email box, and you see it's personalized with my name. So that's pretty much how you do it. So it's not more complicated than that. And it's done pretty rapidly. And okay, so sorry. So this is to do a manual batch email. Now, if you want to create a task that will send out automatically an email to that list, whatever reason it is, on a date interval, on a specific date. So we want to say, I want to send out every day, every first day of the month to this company. I could do that. Or I can say event trigger. I want to send out an email every time the field customer type is changed to prospect or to customer. I want to create a rule that it sends out an email, a welcome email, when editing, like I just said, the field, specific field. Let's say it's this one. Their procedure is exactly this word. Send out an email. You put the email there, you create that task. So at that point, every time there's going to be, every time that will be affected in your rule, it will be sending out automatically an email. So you don't have to worry, and it's always going to be done.